Okay, first of all, I just wanted to congratulate Coach Dawkins and our basketball team. It was an unbelievable win, unbelievable atmosphere. One of the biggest games in school history on our campus, and they seized the moment. So that was a real special thing with that. Also, Coach Nick Saban retiring. I just want to wish him the best. We had a lot of really good games, a lot of history. I really believe he's the best to ever do it, and so congratulations to him. Wish him nothing but the best in his retirement. KJ Jefferson, we're looking for a transfer quarterback at the end of the season, a veteran guy. When he went in the portal, he's the guy we had circled. Obviously, have some history with him, recruited him out of high school, know a lot about him, actually coached against him. Me being from Arkansas, my parents still there, and friends and all that, I know a lot about him. So we went in the portal, he's the guy that we had circled. And just for us in our offense, we really think he's the perfect fit. Not just as a player, but as a person. He's used to winning. He's really the perfect guy for us. So I'll let him talk to you here in just a minute. I'd like to thank everyone that's helped us with the Kingdom. In this day and age of college football, that's really one of the keys to recruiting, and maybe the biggest key. And thank all of the people that helped us with that, and encourage you to continue that. That's going to be really, really important, not just now, but moving forward. SJ2, he's doing a super job with his leadership and everything that goes with it. I also want to give a shout out to the legendary John Heisler that is retiring. It's been, in his profession, he's the Nick Saban in his profession. And we were fortunate enough to have him, I guess, for 5 years. I'm fortunate enough to, work with him the last 3. I believe his last day is tomorrow. So just really want to give him a shout out. And we've got a jersey for him. So John, come on up here. Congratulations. All right. Let's go ahead and smile right here. All right. Got it?
51 seasons.
All right. Thank you. Okay. All right. Go ahead and open up for questions.
Yeah, just gotta reflect more on landing KJ, because I know, transfer portal opens, you recruit quarterbacks, you're looking for an experienced quarterback. KJ was a little bit of a late entry into the portal, but if you look back at the experience, are you happy maybe you didn't maybe land some of those early ones? Because it looks like you really got one of the top prizes in the portal.
No, we hit a home run. We hit a home run with that. He's the guy that, with things, we were going to go after a veteran guy, and I made that crystal clear early on. And there was rumors that he was going to go in the portal and all that, and of course, it just worked out when he went in. I mean, we full court pressed him, and he already knew, and so we were waiting, and it worked out. And so we're very excited.
When you look at his stats, how much does 36 career starts stand out?
Yeah. He knows how to win. He not only knows how to win, what really stood out to me is in big games with the game on the line, he made play after play after play to help him win in overtime. And just like I said, me being from Arkansas and everything that goes with it, I knew a lot about him. Watched him play a whole lot of football. Know a lot of people that know him. So we got the perfect guy for our offense, really, and for our program, and for our program at this time. And coming in with the guys we have offensively, there's a lot of excitement around our building right now.
Coach, in the past we've talked about how the physical element of playing quarterback, especially in your offense and in football in general, now is a bigger deal. For those who haven't had a chance to see KJ on film or out there yet, what physical tools does he bring? What has he seen that makes you unique compared to the other guys you've had here?
He's an NFL quarterback. I mean, he's got all the physical tools. I mean, he's a big-time runner. There's no doubt about that. He throws a deep ball as good as anybody in the country. And really what stands out to me is that he can extend plays. He's strong in the pocket. He escapes, and once he escapes, he has his eyes down the field, and he can make plays when things break down. And, in college football, when you start playing the top teams, I mean, the quarterback's got to make plays. You got your system and all that, but he has shown time and time again against some of the best defenses, the country, all of college football, that he's played extremely well. in those moments.
And kind of follow up on that quick, Coach. Durability, you got to feel good about that with his size as well.
100%.
Some of your biggest success came with quarterbacks like Nick Marshall, Cam Newton.
Yeah.
Are you excited to work with a quarterback like that again in that mold?
Yeah, and that's why he's the perfect fit for us. You just said it. When we've had quarterbacks, similar skill sets, that's when we've won championships. And so like I said, he's the perfect fit for us.
Coach, you talking about KJ, not only just his seniority, his leadership, but also what it does for the young guys that you brought in, like Dylan Rizzik and EJ Colson, just giving them an opportunity to just kind of slow cook a little bit and kind of get adjusted to college football. How much impact does his seniority have to that room?
You know, I think that's great because the young guys you're talking about are very talented and get a chance to learn from, one of the best in the country. I think that is really good. In KJ's approach, his demeanor, like I said, he's been there and done that and played against the best defenses in college football.
Gus, what's it say for you, your staff, the program in general, to be able to go into the portal and compete for a guy like KJ and actually land him?
Yeah, I mean, it says a lot about UCF and where we're at right now in college football and the landscape. And, so we're real excited. It takes everybody, and it's been a process to get this point, to go to the Big 12 and get to the point we are now. It's all coming together, and it's a real exciting time.
You got a lot of weapons on offense coming back. Like, how important was that just for maybe those guys recruiting KJ and for those guys to decide to stay and maybe not go pro because they know a guy like KJ is coming in?
Yeah, I think it's real important. And the thing, you get a guy like KJ, I mean, he's recognized around the country. I mean, and great players want to play with great players. So even on the defensive side, it's helped us recruit. And, we're putting together a really good portal class right now. We're not done yet. We'll see into next week what that looks like, but we're in really good shape right now and add some more really good pieces to the puzzle, to get ready for spring.
In the past, you talked about the learning curve that goes with the portal. What adjustments do you think you and your staff have made going into this season?
Yeah, everybody's learning. There's no doubt. It was great that we were able to go through last year, but this year is different than any time before.
How so?
Just with not just the timing, but the NIL collectives. They opened up the window that it wasn't just one-time transfers. Anybody can transfer. What was it, 3 weeks ago? So it's just one of those deals that you adjust, and it's day by day. And so that's really what we've done. We're a school that is used to adjusting. I do think that helps. We kept the majority of our players, which I think is very important. So there's a lot of good things happening right now.
Coach, that kind of leads nicely into my next question here too. Since you got here, you kind of leaned into the new world with the transfer portal. I think we could look up the quote still about, your mom's even on Facebook. We're looking for new stuff with the Twitter handles on the jerseys and all of that.
Right.
How much do you think that's rendered dividends now? And what's some of the stuff you feel like you've done then that's helped do things like land KJ?
Yeah, even before I got here, this was a great destination for transfers, and they had great success. So that really helped us when we got here. And transfers have come in here and had great success. Our atmosphere, our team really welcomes transfers. That's rare too. So this is a great destination, and I think it helps us with this new age of college football. And my mom's still on Facebook too. I'm glad you brought that up.
I guess at this point, are you only talking about KJ Jefferson today in terms of this incoming transfer class?
So we're still going to finish, another week or so to finish this class, and then next week, once everything's finalized, we'll have another one. We got some outstanding players, and like I said, we're not done yet, and so we'll have one hopefully in the next 10 days, 10, 14 days, and that'll be good.
There's been a lot of talk about just how crazy the calendar is after the season. You got to worry about portal, early signing day, bowl games.
Yeah.
What would you do to kind of lessen the load in December? Like, it seems like you can't even enjoy the holidays because you got to worry about recruiting.
Yeah, obviously that's a really hard question to answer right now. I mean, there's so many things that needs to be changed, in my opinion. This year was very challenging. You're going to the bowl site. You've got signing day. you're also trying to hold on to your players in the portal. You're trying to recruit other players in the portal. And just everything that goes with that, with roster management and recruiting, you know, it's a challenge, there's no doubt. But like I said, you gotta adapt. And I'm just taking it day by day and week by week, to be honest with you. But after we get done with this portal window and we get going in a routine, you know, in January, I'll be better off to answer that
So
question.
are you more of a proponent of moving maybe early signing day to the late summer? I know I've heard
Yeah,
that's
I'd
something
be
that's
all
been
for
talked
that.
about.
No, I'd be all for that, and I'm gonna bet the majority of the coaches would be all for that, you know, earlier. That way you can coach your season, you can focus on your players, keeping your players, retaining them, and then figuring out, you know, within what portal or anything that goes with that. Just building a roster, you know, that's probably the big thing.
Coach, obviously with the winter window, you also have staff turnover. You announced Lee Davis as a recruiting, on-campus recruiting coordinator yesterday. What does she add to your staff?
Yeah, she's one of the best in the business of what she does, and just brings a professional. She's been in the SEC and been in some big programs, and just you know, evaluating everything we do to try to take everything off the field to a new level. So very excited to have her, and she's well respected. I know our staff is extremely excited to add her to what we're doing.
Coach, what are some things and attributes that you look for in transfers? You know, you already have kind of the foundation built. Like, what are some things that you look for in players? So, you know, it's easy for fans to kind of look at stats and positions of need.
Yeah.
What do you look for?
Well, when we go in the portal, first of all, we have a need. We need to address a need. And they need to be able to play. Probably the biggest challenge is very important to me who we bring in, our culture, bringing the right type people. The challenge is that used to, you know, with a high school player or junior college, you'd have a year and a half to develop a relationship. A lot of times it's 48 hours, and you got to do your best as far as the person they are and just bringing in. And that's a challenge, I think, for everybody. But, you know, you have to have a need, first of all, and can they play? I mean, you turn on the film and, you know, I always tell our staff, you know, I want to recruit players that my wife can come in here and turn the film on and say, yep, he can play. All right, so that's what we're looking for. And, you know, we've done a good job of that for the most part, but that is a challenge, I think, for everybody, making very, very important decisions in a 48, sometimes a 48-hour window.
Last one there. Coach, you got several transfers already known, and I wonder if you could comment on a couple of local guys, Josiah Pierre, Goldie Lawrence.
Yeah, so I'm gonna wait until I get to next week, probably 7-10 days out, when we put that whole class together, and I'm gonna be ready to talk about all
Well,
that.
you mentioned about watching film and wanting a player that your wife could point out and say that's a player. What about KJ? Is there any specific highlight that you watched in the last month when you were recruiting him that kind of stands out to you, something he did in a game or something?
I mean, there's about 10 of them, I think, but Christy did, she approved. All right? You can watch it, she's been keeping up with it a long time. No, I mean, there's a couple plays that, you know, stand out, and they're playing purple team, whatever, first game. What team was that? West Carolina. Yeah, West Carolina. The guy hits him right in the grill, he turns, didn't even bother him, and he just flicked it out there. I think they're playing Alabama, the corner comes free and was hanging on him, he just flipped him off, and then he threw it down the field and all that. So I don't know, there's about 10 of them.
And he knows a thing or two about Florida, University of Florida.
Yeah, he played pretty well. that helps too. Okay, that good?
Appreciate it. Thanks, Coach.
All right.